This riff's by James Bay and it's called Hold Back the River. Now it's a great sounding riff. It's all built around the key of D natural minor, which is the relative of F major, and it's built with intervals of tenths. So I'll explain to you what tenths are in a minute, but let's look at the key. So D minor, the natural minor starts on D and it goes D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. Remember that's figured out by always having a semitone between the second and third and then a semitone between the fifth and the sixth. Everything else is a tone in there. So that's the key it's from. Now a tenth interval is always, if you count the note you're starting on as the 1 and count up 10, the next note would be up here would be an F. Remember the scale does keep repeating. I can always go, well, what would be below here? And that's going to be a C. But the D is our tonic. That's what it's built from. So the tenth from D is the note F. Now there is an extra octave in there. So D to F is a third plus an octave. And I know mathematically that doesn't add up, but a third plus an eighth equals a tenth in music because you're actually counting the same note twice. All right, remember when we count a third D to F, F is the third, but we count that again when we count the octave. So that's why it doesn't add up. Now every interval in here is a tenth. If we started on the E and I said, what's the tenth of E? The answer would be G. And again, remember there's an extra octave in there. So all of his shapes are tenths. Now, just before I show you how to play it, I'll just talk about the rhythm. Now, he does his first chord, and it goes 1, that's 2 beats long, so it'll be a minim. Now, the other 2 chords that are in the bar are always on the offbeat. So if I tied this through, and I'll just turn them into quavers, and tied that through, that rhythmically, that would be the 1. This would be the 3rd beat of the bar, but I'm not going to play it because of the tie. That would be the and, that would be the 4th beat of the bar, and then that would be the and here. So I'd end up with this rhythm going like this. It goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. When we go into the next bar, this note here is tied through to the next minim. So you won't play the minim, you just keep playing these ands all the way through. Now that's basically the rhythm, the way it works. So let's show you on the guitar how to play this. Now the D is this note here, so on the 5th string, 5th fret. Now I would get used to the D minor scale on that 1 string, just so you're familiar, because if that's the 1, you go E, F, G, then it's A, B flat, C, back to the D. So that's the natural minor scale there, built from there. Now, the way it works is, if you're on the 3rd, the 6th, or the 7, you do major tenths. And I'll get into that in another video, what all that means. But a major tenth is this shape here. You'll notice the other note I'm playing is on the 2nd string, it's the 7th fret. 2 frets higher than this one. So that's major, 1 down from that is minor. So just try and remember that. If you're on the 3 or on the 6 or the 7, it's a major interval. So starting on that D, that's the minor, which is the 1. The 2 of the key is also minor. Now here's the 3rd. Remember 2 and 3 is a semitone, so that's major tenth. Now I'm going to move from the 3 of the scale up to the 5 of the scale here, and then to the 6. So that's the 5. We're going to skip that 4 in there. So it just goes 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to come up here, and we're going to go 5, 6, then back down to the 5 to the 3. So that timing was 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Now, I'm pretty well going to repeat back through that idea of going 5, 6, 5, down to the 3, and then 5, 6, back down to 5, 3. So I'll play up to there in the riff. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 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 2. Now that's up to tempo. I would practice it much slower. I usually get my students to do about half that to learn it. Now once you get to there, you then alternate between the notes by going. So I'm just going thumb and I'm doing index, thumb, index to play that. So after you've done that where you're coming back down, you go. And then what I would suggest is bar across here, the 8th fret, and I'm going to pick the 6th and 2nd string together. Now that's not a 10th, that interval is actually a 12th or a 5th plus an octave. It's straight out of that C major bar chord. So I'll play up to there and we'll just put the last little bit on it. So it goes. Now we get to there, we're going to re-pick that second string, and then we need to play these two. Now you want to keep the bar there because I want to keep that tonic note ringing as I play this. I want to get these two notes. That's the 10th fret on the 3rd string, okay, and then I'm going to the 9th fret. So I'm simply just going from the F to that E, which is in the scale. So I want to get that. Now the last note is again in that bar, it's that 1st string, it's the 8th fret down here. So that ending would go, and then start again, try to keep, etc. So I'll play through the whole riff one time, roughly at tempo so you can hear how it all fits together. And repeat through that. Now that's the main riff from the song. There's variations in there. I'll just mention one important thing. Every time I'm playing a minor 10th, I'm using my 1st and 3rd finger. When I do a major 10th, I use my 1st and 4th. I like to be consistent with that and always do the same, and it doesn't matter what the song is, I would try and keep that same idea. So just as you're practicing it, 1st finger does the root note of the scale, and you're changing fingers down here depending on whether you're doing the minor or you're switching to the major like that interval. So have fun with that. So that's Hold Back the River by James Bay. Great sounding riff. I hope you really enjoy that one.